Wow. What a game. What a great win. Credit to NC State, obviously. They gave us all we could handle. I thought some of their execution, the way they threw it and caught it, and the way they outfought us in the back end at times really presented us a lot of problems. And at halftime, it was we were on the ropes. And the leadership of this team came in the locker room at halftime and calmed everybody down. We weren't ourselves. The penalties, we were just not giving ourselves a chance to win the game. And guys were starting to press in the second quarter. You could see the strain on their faces. We came into halftime. We regrouped. We knew it still wouldn't be easy in the second half. We knew that there would be adversity in the second half, but we knew that we would win the game if we stuck together. And that's exactly what we did. We stuck together. We didn't panic. We got some stops on defense, and offensively, we were just hard to stop all night. What Derek King did tonight was phenomenal. I mean, throwing for 430 and running for 105. I mean, that's absolutely remarkable, and was at his best when his best was needed. And then to have Mike Harley go for 153 and then make the play right there at the end. That's what you want your seniors to do. You want them to make those plays like that. He'll remember that for the rest of his life. So certainly a lot to clean up. We understand all that, but this team's got something about it that we can find a way to win a game like that on the road against a team that was playing very well. And so for that, I'm very proud, and open that up for questions after that.
Hey, Manny, congratulations. As a defensive guy, you probably were pretty horrified with what you were seeing, particularly in the first half and just the way they were moving the ball. But when the game was on the line in the fourth quarter, you chose to gamble on your defense, and you kicked the field goal. You're still down by 4, and they came through like you thought they would. Can you talk a little bit about what was going through your mind throughout the game, just on how they were moving the ball, and then why you made that decision?
If you look at it, and without having the exact numbers in front of me, I thought the key was the run game. In the first half, they were running the ball. They were running the ball well. They were making great throws and catches, but they were also able to run the football. And in the second half, I mean, they ran for 131. Felt like they had around 100 at halftime. I don't know, but I felt like once we stopped the run game, that sooner or later we would start to make plays in the passing game. And they were, like I said, there were some throws and catches they made that were highly contested, and they were just coming up with all of them. They were out fighting for them. So yes, it was very disappointing to see that. But they had 41, which is way too many, but seven of that in the kicking game. So there's a lot of disappointing things. But when we needed to make plays, the guys believed in each other, and they found a way to get it done. And I don't know what they had in the fourth quarter, but it didn't seem like they had a whole lot. And credit to those guys for not panicking and playing their best when it was needed.
And then as a follow on the flip side, can you just comment a little bit? I mean, the answer is somewhat obvious, but just the way that Rhett Lashley and Derek King have just changed the face of your team, and now you're winning these games that you're going to have in the ACC.
Yeah, I mean, we feel like when you have a quarterback like Derek, you never feel like you're out of the game, and we felt like we could score on him. We felt like we could beat him down the field, and that ended up being true. What we needed to do is we needed to run the ball a little bit better in the second half, which we were just, everything was so dependent on Derek in the first half. And we started finding some cracks there in the second half. It was still hard grind, but but Cam got, Cam started making some plays, and I thought that really spurred on our offense. But yeah, look, you got to be able to score some points. This is college football in 2020. You got to be able to score some points to win, and that's all part of it. And I will tell you, what we had to do this week in practice with the guys that we had out. We had a practice on Friday with about 70 guys at practice. We had graduate assistants pretending to be defensive backs for scout team. We had kickers playing wide receiver against our defensive scout team because we're just so thin now with the players that we have out. So the way that we practice for this game is as unusual as any game that I've ever practiced. Does that have some sort of effect on the game? Can't measure it. And to be honest, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you still have to go win the football game. So for our guys to overcome what they've overcome, not just tonight, but in the last really 13 days, It hasn't been easy, and they've had to do some things that football teams don't normally have to do to get prepared to win a game. And to come out, all we could do is this week is go 1-0, and it's mission accomplished.
Yeah, Coach, the receiver group stepped up again this week. You had your top 4 receivers were all over 75 yards. All of them had a touchdown, or at least one touchdown. How proud are you just with the way they've responded to the challenge since, going into that Virginia game? I know a lot's been made of the depth chart, but they have just found a way to respond and produce, and we're kind of seeing them grow up in front of our eyes in recent weeks.
I can't be prouder. And it's also the catches that they're making, some highly contested catches, some tough catches in the corner of the end zone, big balls down the field, those explosive plays that change games. So it's fun to watch. And I think that's what we knew. We felt like in this offense, as time went on during the season, that we would improve in the passing game. And then they've also had to carry double load because of the guys we've had out. So, but again, but Mike Harley leads the way, and his toughness, he got dinged up there for a little bit and, went back in the game and to make that play, man, what a warrior, heroic tonight.
Hey, Coach, now it doesn't get any easier for you guys going on the road again for Virginia Tech. So another big ACC showdown to stay alive in this race to get into that ACC championship game. Just your thoughts on what this win does for you guys going into that one.
Well, what we know is that we've got, you hear coaches say these things, you've heard me say it, and you don't ever know if it's really true. It's hard to measure. We got a connected football team. We got guys that will fight for each other. We got guys that will lay it all on the line for each other, because if we didn't, we would have been exposed tonight and we would have found a way to lose this football game. We never expected this game to be easy. I don't think we would expect to be 44-41. But we knew from watching NC State on film this year that they were 4-2 in our conference. We were 4-1. They were half a game behind us. So to get this one, we think the next week will be the same. I mean, this is our league. I mean, we're prepared for these battles, but at the same time, we have a chance to improve. We've got to clean up and improve some of the things that were hurting our chances, and we did enough to hurt ourselves tonight. That if we can get those things corrected, it'll make us more competitive home, away, against any opponent.
Hey, Coach, obviously a lot of big plays tonight, but 2nd and 18 from your 8 when you absolutely need to get out of there. Just the play call and the execution of it and just the toughness of all the way around, just what you saw on that play.
What a big time throwing catch. Again, a great call by Rhett. Reminded me of a one, we hit one a couple weeks ago against somebody at home, very similar to Harley in that hole from a backed up area. And when you've got a guy like Derek who is going to take care of the football, again, no turnovers as an offensive unit tonight, which is fantastic. And you've got a guy like Harley that, is going to get down there and be able to make the play. So it was a great throw and catch, great protection from the guys, and obviously a pivotal play in the football game.
And then just as a quick follow on the defensive side, you guys most of the night were on your heels, but then to get the stop at the end, to get the, it felt like you guys were also getting your hands on a lot of balls, deflecting balls, and that led to that interception. It
did. It still comes back to what I said, is that once we got the run slow down, everything else got easier. And they were, and again, partially because they were making contested catches that it was hard to suggest that they could keep that up over 60 minutes. And ultimately that proved to be true.